coming out to the Poetry Concept Night. My name is Diedrick. I'm a creator that's here. And just really happy to see you all. So tonight we have split the night. We with Saturn Base, and then we with manuel and arturo. We'll just take a really quick shift over. So we'll stay in the room. Next up is on Monday, we have Hamilton. We have a professor here reading their books. It's going to be a really gorgeous reading. And then on Wednesday, night of Lynn, Hydrogen's Lola the Interpreter, and so come back around. And then little things, there's a bathroom, two stories up, or not one story, one story. I don't know how stories like this. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks so much for coming out. Almost got off on Saturday.
The approved agitation makes sense when you look back, when it circles back. Thank you for being here with me, which is always the thing I fear, foreign and terrifying and shaping me so. Perhaps with some clarity, but often, sometimes without. This is the closure I spoke of. We are writing from a place that feels impossible. An early Selma, and to this day, she cannot remain still. She moves from ruin to ruin, in reluctant light. She plots with care, a perfect deep green melange that is coming to her slowly. Keep talking about her.
some reason. The only reason would be West African divination systems, specifically the computational ones. Ifa in Yoruba culture, Fa in Vodun cultures, like Ebefon cultures, and Bamana divination in Mali, actually, is, as people who have read Ron Eglash know, the Bamana divination system is the source of John von Neumann's digital circuit. So thank you to Saturn Base. I don't want to explain your performance, I'm just reacting to the cool. Things on my mind. I have like 9 poems. They should each take about 2 minutes to read. I'm sitting at a piano improvising, so it's probably boring to watch someone do that. Unless they're really good, which I'm not. And so because of that, I've got this audio-visual stuff. I've got some minutes of footage from Portland, the Bronx, Feldafing, Germany, Oslo, and Bergen, Norway. I think that's it. And it's about light and movement. And then I've got the poems for you on the left. These are the poems. The last one was a prose poem. The last 2 are prose poems. So they'll take a little bit longer. I'll try to be efficient with my gestures. Thank you for being here. Thanks to Ethan for curating this. I love my mom and sister. Means tone color melody in German. It's when you assign each note of a melody to a different instrument to create a rainbow timbre or a tone color timbre, Klangfarben Melodie. A clock that measures the opposite of time. Ancient pixel built from half a breath. The seed of a perfect moon. Numbers don't lie because they can't tell the truth. The kindling space between a choice and its airless shadow. A polite noumenon guides my dismay with the grace of email for doves. Originating in silence, all eternal things, joy-struck demon of rain. The abuelas at the bus stop look like potatoes in cellophane. They have on clear raincoats. The milk of their laughter. Anaisa's mirror is her palm, a plangent yellow, bones of song, tracing lines of light. basic lines of tuck, 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 tuck. Tracing lines of flight. Klangfarben Melodie. Figure. I named the electricity to the bones of my senses. I killed. I named the electricity to the bones of my senses. And before I gazed cheerfully, I killed tomorrow to see if it fell deeper. I waited for centuries. And I was told a slice of bread survives that I sowed into the ground but could not reach. It is not the same, but it's not different. Sometimes I figured you out below. It is below. It is. The soiled compartment needs my time. And I vomited my chimera as sick flesh turned away from me. Bigger. This is called Untitled, but then in parentheses is the real title. It's like a thing that I do. And so the parenthetical title is The Berries. Thanks to John and Jewel Height for the sound of this composition. Bump deconstructed post-club tracks with Rebel Berries, who do be vibing and love the crushed up universes that form their atoms. I appear that another might take their lit shapes return to numberless homelands. Return to numberless homelands. It's not a command, it's in the subjunctive, not the imperative. Statements in the subjunctive and imperative do not have truth values. Meaning is not use, it is doubt. Doubt. I reveal berries, shaped from lightning, or a rows of doors, a stranger's breath unpoisoned. As far as my ear stretches, I wander you, because sound is not the wife of meaning. Escaping as I illuminate, moving through the trees and their shapeless fruits. Shapeless fruits. Shapeless fruits. Da-da. Shapeless fruits. Gorging on form, friendlily. We want to be friendly. We also want to gorge, be gourmands. It is the forest of my thoughts where brash families of dew hang from the hollows of trees. It's only a family resemblance, Wittgenstein said. Nothing more. Nothing more. Glissant said the ethic of the passerby discloses a hospitality from another planet. Tune in. The berries revolt against mystery. Revolt against mystery. Stop doing that. They protect. They protect. They protect. The berries revolt against mystery. They present me with a dictionary of their size. On Being the Right Size by J.B.S. Haldane, the biologist. They want to dye the berries on a sunny day. Would be nice. Untitled, true title is Time Poem. Thanks again to John Andrew Woolhite, who is playing the double bass here. That the gods shrunk one of your destinies to a bile, lay it gradually before you like blood carried by wind. Choice. That the gods shrunk one of your destinies to a bile. Hop to a. Lay hop to a, spit on that thing. That the gods shrunk one of your destinies to a bile. A sick bile. Lay it gradually before you like blood carried by wind. It smells like iron. It smells like earring bags. The choice you make, any little thing, is an infinite sacrifice of possible worlds. To enrich the altar of the now. In one path, Father's word means order, the belt. Means order conquers disorder, the belt. Another path, mother's silence, mother's chaos song, yoked like a disciple to pleasure, to possibility, to the shape of memory. This is called Untitled, and then the real title is Delight. My revenge is a blank page. Two versions of a stone castle. Two versions of a stone castle. Name of the book, by the way. I guess that's important. The last air dancer stands guard over two high thread count ghosts fucking as I love bomb myself out of spite. Some believe that meaning is a survival adaptation. It's called like, what is it called? Biosemiotics? Biosemiotics? Some shit like that. Protected by a thick ring of coriander, my sister speaks French as if underwater. I'm dreaming in this context. I'm like half asleep in my bedroom, and as I astral project across the thin wall separating our rooms, the spirit of a hype man passes over us. I desperately need a hype man who is good at emailing, like clouted curators and stuff, people that have money and whatnot. The light of transfiguration on the mount, according to the Eastern Orthodox desert fathers, seen from the eyes of you, the unbelievers, may be perceived as the burning fires of hell. On Mount Tabor, Christ presents himself as Moses, as Elijah, we lay a 1-inch thick line of salt outside the courthouse. The officials weep and urinate from the windows. This city, New York City, is the mind of a sick God, herself always under a magnifying glass, unable to distinguish intimacy and control. Let her go. Coltrane, biasanya kita nanda. In sorrow for the burned Sayanantam ashram that fell to the California wildfires of 2018. In sorrow for the burned Sayanantam ashram. Sorry, I didn't realize the page wasn't up. No, I can't find the page. How far are we? Yeah, I'll skip this one. We've got a lot left to go. In sorrow for the burned Sayanantam ashram. We've heard that line 4 times now, but I was sad. The Lilith moon of your harp, lilt and angle of aligned planets, thrum your name in concentric, coharmonic spirals, falling upward. St. John lived in your negative harmony. Conflagrated pianos blossom from your every step. Ancestors bless you with the reverse memory. fractal geometry of lineage is reflected in abstraction, the sound of light itself. Tears fall to my feet like a wriggling bug. This bottomless well of loneliness could be a neighbor. I gently smash lilacs against my face, calling out to you, dynastic, like the city inside the yucca. It's called The Privilege of Idleness. Also, this is my first cumbia. Shouts out to cumbia. Never made this genre before. This is my first time, so I'm love bombing myself for doing that. The privilege of idleness. Oh, to be idle, right? I mean, damn. I call from speculation of the intrinsic, which held together what soon may sink, reverberating in a cubby and subduing recognized verdicts, old to be walking. I am not eager, I am fixed in swarm deeply, and in a house I shall surge, old and beginning, ahead and in awe, evolute, feel most alive, not a convection, but hallowed at odds, inviting and sticking. Let there be no verbs. Life is a joke you cry at. Wake, Finnegan's wake. Delusion is a guilt for reality's only guests. Light leaves, fuzzy upside down pillars in a frozen pond behind a big rock. That's like somewhere in Central Park, I believe. Tons of color near like I forget. There's like a big field that people play baseball in. And near there's like a little lake with rocks. That's what I'm talking about. Some things I do get, but most I just come across. Don't ever let the last line go missing like I did. The rest of these are all beat based, so I'm just gonna beat, I think, because it's tough to like play and read in rhythm. I say that and I start playing immediately. The strange and secret rooms of your voice. R&B song. The strange and secret rooms of your voice. It waters its own flowers, but the flowers are tiny old men that feast on heaps of sick butts and hang things on a string for fun. I was not the first to reach this memory. Put it there. Yes. really liked this next sentence for some reason. Yes, against the light, from a purple-edged leaf lodged in the mind, we see again your mother holding you by a string. But looking closer, we see the string as a song. This place of stripped rocks where we burn trash. Here each angel moves forward to relinquish its name. Here, each angel moves forward to relinquish its name. Worlds are snuffed out. We never had access to them to begin with, but it still hurts to witness. Even those who don't believe in gods may still fear their secret names, encoded like lineages into those of the angels. Only the mothers learn these. Those who jumped overboard may have had to transform in order to reach rest. Shouts out to Drexia. The bones at the bottom of the ocean need to rest. They don't need to be a railroad. There is no final witness if the past is not yet past. When you ingest the enemy to become stronger and make a flute from the bone, you can play a blood melody that builds two versions of a stone castle. On closer inspection, you see it's not stone, but ossified coral. I was not the first who asked you to come forward, you hear someone say. Take me to where sun screams for moon's embrace, a returning embrace, or a distancing embrace. Its fiery rage, no solace for the burn of loneliness, no still center, only the mostly empty space of which thoughts and objects consist. Careening like the sun on path unseen, the void of symmetry. And yet nothing can fit in all that void but a gaze whose source we suspect is alien. But the call's coming from inside the house. The death and rebirth cycle of a million worshipped suns. A million, what does that have to do with loneliness, with the sacred bonded pair of sun and moon? The more human I become, the less I understand. I think that I'm trying to become more human. It's questionable. They tell me don't trouble blood. The dimly gowned time spoke dimly with ache. I ritually neglect my dreams, and yet this ache is yeah, it's more than dream. I don't really know. It feels like it's more than dream. You were thrown into the world like a gesture, meant to decay into nothing, the Pentecost of linearity. Forgetting things happens in the image of God, Tselem Elohim. This is a dream transcription, so now I kind of jump into the dream itself and not like my interpretation of it. And so I invite you to imagine this dream I had of the Afro-Portuguese, Dominican colonial fur trapper and merchant, Johann Diedrick, who was the first non-indigenous settler. Johann Diedrick on some, it's not Rumpelstiltskin. What's that guy that falls asleep for a long time and then wakes up again?
Rip Van Winkle.
There you go, Rip Van Winkle. Shouts out George Washington. Like that story. And had slave teeth. Fuck that guy. Johann Diedrick falls asleep in 1624 and wakes up in 1970 in the Bronx to a scene of slumlords burning tenements for insurance. those landlords were not Salem Elohim. For so long, he went around saying, I'm from the first city in the New World, bro. I'm the first non-Indian on Manhattan, Rananchqua. Manhattan is Manhattan, Rananchqua is what's called the Bronx now. My fur game crazy, bro. My fur game, bro, with the Lenape. Now, in the post-apocalyptic context of the late 20th century Bronx, Diedrick's skills proved useless. I'm sorry if anyone's Portuguese or Brazilian, I don't know how to pronounce those names. But, he rode iron snakes, sizzling with colored symbols on their surfaces, struggling from one weird low-paid task to the next, always covered in a thin film of hatred, hoping for time to himself to come to grips with it all and think about his lost family. He works with a local spiritist to eventually learn his own soul, the soul of Johann Diedrick, has transmigrated from a Moorish woman from Al-Andalus who died by her own hand in a wadi, or a valley. He could never look her in the face because she came to him in dreams. Sound is not the wife of meaning. Time began with a word, but time is neither grace nor suffering. It's not even duration. Time is just an object. Space-time is this curved object. It's got like wrinkles in it, and apparently it might store memory. It's got an evil twin called dark matter. We don't know what's going on. But I found your photo in a notebook. I remember I wouldn't go into the water with you. Images don't come to me anymore. Someone says, this isn't exactly your kind of place. Sound is the depth of the unthought, the beginning of time. Does time have a beginning? The moon grew so big, it touched the surface of the language, its glow resonant at the interfaces as it broke. If that image is confusing, just think of Majora's Mask. The moon is really, really big. It's going to crash into you. And in 3 days, you're all going to die, right? But then you relive the 3 days over and over again to save the village. Stand naked before mystery. Save the village. Working on the other side of time. And that's from Sun Ra. God assigns each of us a monster to care for. To care for, not to judge. And those are different from demons. They're just monsters, like you. The last time we spoke, I saw two versions of a stone castle trapped in a falling tooth. An informatic universe is a sexy universe, which got you stuck off the realness. That's from Prodigy. Thank you.